The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at first criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Oh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh please, the puppies need me. Oh please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.
Hello, Sofa Squad. How is everybody doing? What is everybody up to? I hope that y'all are doing well. If you could, please, you know the drill. Drop those number ones. Drop those number ones. Let me mute this. I hope everyone's doing well. Y'all, welcome all the moderators to the sofa. I love y'all. I appreciate you being here. Thanks, Share Bear. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Trex. Thanks, Carla. I hope everyone's doing well. What is everybody up to? We got West Point Daughter coming in at number one, coming in strong with number one, and the whatever you call that situation that they put the little number one next to your name. Y'all, so much has been going on. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go over the last 2 days of testimony via the articles. Hey Shayna, hey Emily, hey Brenda, of the James Craig trial. James Craig is on trial for poisoning and killing his wife. Well, killing her by poisoning her, putting poison in her workout smoothies. And it's horrible, and he's cringy and all that. Now, here's what we're going to also be doing. Tomorrow, we're streaming Lori Daybell sentencing, obviously, right? Tomorrow evening, if they don't overlap, we'll do another kind of impromptu live, and we'll go over some of this information that's come out in the Brian Kohberger. Pardon me. Hey, Jenny, I hope you're feeling okay. In the Brian Kohberger situation, they released all those documents, right? And everybody's talking about them. I've kind of been going through them as well. And so that's what we'll do, right? And then Sunday, we'll probably catch up back here again because it'll have a couple of days worth of testimony to get back over. So, yeah, the Bradagry, the BK sentencing. I recorded a video today for the other channel specifically on Olivia's reading of Brian Kohberger, which was genius, right? Loved every second of that. Absolutely. I want to do a compilation of and I don't know what you would call it, but people who victim impact statements where they just, serve and swerve like that. Another one that comes to my mind is and I can't remember his name, but I laugh every time. It was so good. Nancy Brophy's stepson, when he read her filth. People who know how to get into the mind of the perpetrator and absolutely push those buttons. You know what I'm saying? So she did with Brian, Nancy Brophy's stepson did with her. You just love that, right? Because I think that's the only way to get to these people, right? So, oh yeah, Colby's I hope he's doing okay. God bless him. That's so unfortunate he can't make it to do his victim impact statement. I'd heard that he had gone. What did he have Did he have like what had happened? Did he have a heart attack or something? Uh, oh, Brenda went down the Daryl Brooks wormhole today, y'all. Stroke. Okay, thank you. He allegedly. Jenny says, how many times have y'all watched the impact statement of the year? 6, right? Yeah, 100%. Hopefully somebody in this situation, now I'm just saying I'm not a psychic or whatever. So when they find James Craig guilty, okay, is what I'm saying. Hey, you two bad actors, how's it going? When they find James Craig guilty, okay, and again, I'm not, just allegedly, I hope someone can get up there and read that man for filth, okay, for what he did to this poor woman in the way that he did it. I mean, the evidence that just keeps coming in this, y'all. Oh my gosh. And I would say I'm surprised, and I say this all the time, right? Oh, I'm surprised he took a trial. Of course they're going to take it to trial, right? Especially characters like this dude, Anthony Todd, Sarah Boone. Of course they're going to. Hey, Casper. Wait, Sarah says there's a fundraiser. Okay. So Sarah said there's a fundraiser for him on his page. She's talking about, I'm assuming, Colby. But at first, my brain was like, James Craig of the fundraiser. I was like, no. But it wouldn't surprise me. Okay. That man knows no. I would expect to see a James Craig GoFundMe with him being like, I am the victim in this situation. Oh my goodness. The only thing that will help me is free honey buns and soups, right? Please send away or whatever. Wouldn't surprise me at all with this dude. So, anyways. So there's that. So, like I said, let's get it started into reading his last couple of days of testimony and whatnot, and just see what's been going on. I haven't read the last couple of days yet, so this is something new to me too. And what I'm doing here, so my little disclaimer or whatever, I'm reading Denver 7's coverage, like their live updates from the courtroom. Lauren from Hidden True Crime, she's attending trial. She's doing her little afternoon updates, evening updates too. So if you want somebody who's like there, giving you those textures, giving you those nuances of being in the courtroom, check her out. And correct me with this name if I say it wrong, y'all. Is it Lawyer Lee? Miss Lawyer Lee? There's someone else who's at the trial, and I think it's Lawyer Lee, but I'm not as familiar with her. So just drop her in the comments, because there's two people that I know going. Lauren from Hidden Crime, and I think it's Lawyer Lee, but I don't know if that's the proper name of her channel. Lawyer Lee, RJB says. Okay, so if you want those nuances, context, and as you know, you can listen to both people because everybody has a different perspective. That's what I like to do. So anyways, there's that. Yeah, Lawyer Lee. Yeah, I love her. I should know her name more, but sorry, I don't remember it. But I got it right. It's just in my mind, I thought I had it wrong. Okay, so, but I'm reading Denver 7's because I just like the way that they do it, and I can whatever. So here we go. Buckle up. Okay, so Wednesday, James Craig trial. Former cellmate testifies against Aurora dentist, says he wanted investigator killed. This one, okay. So, one former and one current inmate who both shared a cell at different times with the Aurora dentist, accused of murdering his wife, testified in court Wednesday that James Craig asked them to help cover his tracks, create false testimony, and solicit others to kill investigators working on his case. This man caught more charges behind bars than he did out. Okay. Anyways, so I'm just gonna read the little summary thing here for people who might be new. James Craig is on trial for one charge of first-degree murder, 2 counts of solicitation to commit tampering with physical evidence, 2 counts of solicitation to commit perjury in the first degree, and 1 count of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. 5 of the charges were added to this case during his time in jail. Okay, so, and again, Angela Craig is the victim. She was only 43 years old. She had 6 children. She was making plans for life with them, the family, all this. There was zero evidence that she wanted to take her own life. However, this is kind of the MO. This is like his defense, essentially, is that, it was a game of chicken. She was wanting to unalive herself and all that. So that's the gist of it. Okay, so let's get deeper into what these inmates, former roommates or cellmates had to say. Okay, so the court resumes with testimony from James Craig's former cellmate. The court resumed Wednesday morning with defense attorneys performing a cross-examination of Casey Bohannon, a former inmate in the Arapahoe County Jail, who knew James while they were both in custody of March 2023. Defense attorney Lisa's line of questioning centered around Bohannon's substance use before and during his time in jail. He was also asked if anyone He was also asked if he told anyone about James Craig's alleged scheme, where Bohannon testified he was asked to plant forged evidence related to Angela Craig and suicide in and around the family home. Additionally, she questioned him on his knowledge of the Craig case, but Bohannon said he didn't learn specifics about the case via the news. Moses pressed Bohannon, asking if he knew when he first contacted prosecutors in the summer of 2023 with these allegations that a probation violation was coming his way. Quote, "I'm not 100% certain. I knew I wasn't doing what I should be according to the terms of probation," end quote, Bohannon told the jury. Still, he agreed with Moses that he knew the following day about the probation violation when he spoke to the Aurora police detective Bobby Olson. Okay. In the redirect examination, prosecutor Osama Maghribi asked Bohannon if he came forward with the information about the Craig case to get some kind of benefit from the prosecution. To which Bohannon replied, "Absolutely not," and said the information he was providing in court Wednesday was the same information he initially gave prosecutors in July of 2023 when he was out of jail and sent them an email. He testified that James Craig said he would rewrite what Angela Craig had written on a few pages from her journal regarding alleged suicidal ideations that were apparently misplaced. Bohannon said James Craig told him about the cameras in the house and the code to unlock his vehicle, and Bohannon was given a map of the Craig home. Bohannon said he destroyed the map within minutes after it was given to him. He would later tell law enforcement about James Craig's alleged scheme. Bohannon was then excused from the witness stand. A nurse treating Angela Craig recalled a lot of chaos as her condition worsened. So before we get into that, let's just talk about that for 1 second. So, can you imagine this guy right here? Not imagine it really happened. I'll thank you, Barb, for the super chat. Barb says, somewhere out there is the world's worst dentist and someone has an appointment with them. I know, right? You got to really look at your dentist, with a little bit of side eye. Come on, right? It's like, how often is this happening? Okay, so this dude is giving maps, codes for cars, all this crazy stuff to somebody he's in jail with. He has no idea who this guy is. Not that he would care about anyone else's safety, but this is just what's mind-boggling about this, right? Where you're just like, did you just literally wake up yesterday and start life? How? I don't know. Hey, Jessa, we're just getting started. He's been he's been struck by a bad criminal. Hey, Chrissy, it's good seeing you. I hope you're feeling okay. Okay, so let's get into what this nurse said. Where did it go? Here it is. Sorry, I've lost the tab. Okay, so Prosecutor Maghribi then called Michael Foti to the witness stand, a registered nurse who works at UC Health, University of Colorado Hospital, and Anschutz Medical Campus, and an outpatient clinic connected to the UC Health. Fody has been a registered nurse since 2016 and started his career in Pennsylvania before working as a travel nurse for about 6 years in a lot of hospitals all over the country. He said he treated Angela March 15, 2023, and testified that Angela's condition was very poor when he started treating her. There was a lot of chaos, he recalled. Her status, medically speaking, she was brain dead. Fody said he took some blood draws at around 8:20 in the evening on March 15th. A blood sample from that time was previously testified about within the trial and showed cyanide levels in Angela Craig and had more than doubled while she was in the hospital when compared to another sample taken at 11:50 a.m. that day. There was no cross-examination from the defense, and Fody was excused from the stand. Former cellmate says James Craig wanted to have investigators killed. The prosecutor, Ryan, then called Nathaniel Harris to the witness stand. Harris is currently an inmate at the Denver County Jail and said he came to testify Wednesday at the request of his wife, who asked me to be here because of the situation. Harris testified that he has not signed a cooperation agreement with the DA's office. Originally, he told prosecutors he would not testify if he was still in custody, but his wife insisted that he had to because of moral compass reasons. Harris told the court he knows James Craig because he was one of his cellmates in the Arapahoe, I keep saying that wrong, I'm sorry, County Jail back in November 2024 timeframe. He said that he and James Craig had conversations about his case and the charges he was facing. He told the court James Craig said he was there for allegedly murdering his wife, helping her commit suicide. Harris says that James told him in jail, that his wife was suicidal and that he was ordering poisons to help her commit suicide, and that the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office was stacking the case against him. Harris testified that James Craig was interested in Harris's past in prison and reportedly told Harris he wanted to find someone to deal with the last person he tried to hire in the medical unit, who James Craig allegedly asked to fabricate things about his case. Harris said he told James how his ex-wife had fabricated documents and photos in a past case of his. James Craig was trying to find someone to fabricate stories that supported his conduct and pointed investigators in the other direction, Harris testified. James Craig allegedly gave Harris a letter that was meant to be mailed to the woman he called his ex-wife, Cassiani. That letter was discovered by law enforcement and detailed in later testimony. Cassiani was upset with Harris about the letter and did not want to be involved, he said. Harris also testified that James spoke in detail about Aurora Police Detective Bobby Olson, the lead detective on the case. James allegedly told Harris that Olson was out to get him and lying on him. Harris testified that James Craig wanted him to find someone who could kill Olson. Due to his past in prison, James Craig figured I knew where to find those people, Harris said. He wanted me to source out somebody, Harris told the jury, and before things got out of hand, I told him I'd handle it. When asked what he meant by handle it, Harris testified that he was concerned, but James would actually find someone who would actually do it. James allegedly told Harris that there was a blank check involved. I mean, this guy's just telling everybody anything, that whatever they need to hear in there, he's telling them. He's like, look, you do this for me, baby. You see under my bunk right there, all those soups, all those honey buns. Yeah, baby, all that's for you. I'm going to treat you like the lady that you are. And that guy's probably like, yeah, I'm good. I'm doing okay. I mean, come on now. I mean, he's like filing bankruptcy doing this, but he's, Nope, he's got blank checks to write. I mean, he literally in all seriousness, what it does show you, number one, the delusion level, right? But number two, like, and I don't know if entitled is the right word. Like, there's probably several things going on, because it's like for him to actually think and be thinking like, well, I'm just gonna manipulate these people into killing off these people, and I'll play the game this way, right? It's like you can't be serious. You can't be serious. Oh, yeah, right, Jake. Yeah, Jake. Did y'all see Jake earlier? He's like all in my mouth. He's whenever I was saying certain words, he's smelling my breath, and he's like, chicken, pizza. Where have you been today? Right? Okay. Okay, where we go? There we are. Okay, let's keep going. So, James Craig also talked about a specific sheriff's deputy who was horrible to him. Harris said, according to Harris, James wanted him to take photographs of the deputy's son getting off the school bus for intimidation. Gee, I mean, this man is absolutely despicable. When asked why Harris did not discuss what James was allegedly saying, Harris replied by saying, talking to other inmates about killing people really isn't on my agenda. I mean, thank you, right? James reportedly told Harris his own son would have information about how to find Olson and the sheriff's deputy. Harris added that James wanted a hit on Olson before the first trial started, which was previously scheduled for the end of 2024. In cross-examination, defense attorney Ashley Whittam began by asking Harris about his time behind bars. Harris spent more than 10 years in prison for a past crime, and he agreed he knows how to conduct himself while incarcerated. Then Whittam brought up a woman named Loretta, who Harris referred to as his wife. Harris confirmed that he and Loretta communicate via tablet while he is in jail, and begrudgingly agreed that the two of them have an up and down relationship. Whittam asked if Harris remembered telling Loretta that he had information he planned to use for his benefit. Harris claimed he did not remember saying that. Whittam questioned Harris further, saying he must have known that information about someone charged with the crime would be valuable to law enforcement. And Harris replied with a question: if it was valuable, would I still be sitting in handcuffs? I mean, they're probably going to hook him up somehow, right? I mean, I don't think he's doing this just for his own little benefit. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. And I mean, yeah, he's still in jail. He has to be careful because, like, he can get that. To me, like, the reason he didn't want to testify at first is because he's in jail, right? And he would be looked at as a snitch. Now, I could be completely wrong. And then his wife's probably like, boy, you better get up there and you better say something. You know what I'm saying? You better get home. Okay. Harris testified that he did not know James. James's case was considered high profile until they met. And according to Harris, James is who informed him about the notoriety of the case. Of course he did. Then Harris testified that James followed him around like a puppy while they were in jail together. Harris, who admitted he did not care for James, had his wife call the jail and request their cell be searched for the letter referenced earlier. That letter was kept within Harris's possession in the jail, he said. Harris admitted he was offered something by prosecutors in exchange for his testimony that he did not take. Harris continued to claim the offer didn't work for me and that he just learned of it at the beginning of July. Whittam insinuated that Harris did not take the deal because he did not want his name connected to snitching, which he denied. There was no redirect from the prosecution. Okay, next section. Prosecutor present letter allegedly written by James Craig in order to discredit detective. Oh, this is going to be so cringy. Okay. Prosecutors then called Sergeant Nicholas Hudson to the witness stand. Hudson works at the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office and has been with the department for a little over 7 years. He is currently a sergeant assigned to the court services section, and his responsibilities are transport coordination. Prior to his time at the sheriff's office, he was employed with the Colorado State Patrol. In November of 2024, Hudson told the court that he was assigned to the jail, where he worked the graveyard shift. On November 9th, he was on duty and got a call from a woman named Loretta, who the prior witness described as his wife. Hudson said Loretta called about a concerning letter that Harris claimed to receive from James Craig. Loretta believed it would be found within the cell they shared, and Hudson went to retrieve that letter. The sergeant testified that he was concerned for Harris's safety and wanted to protect him from any kind of speculation that he was handing over a letter. So Hudson told the court he came up with a plan to search the cell under the guise that he was looking for illicit substances. That search happened on November 10th, 2024, and the 11-page letter, 11 pages, was found within Harris's possessions. The letter was in a legal envelope and addressed to an attorney, but Harris testified James wanted him to mail it to his ex-wife. Hudson asked Harris for permission to take the letter and open it, since it appeared to be related to legal matters. The sergeant said that if he had not asked Harris about the location of the letter, he would likely have missed it due to the way it was disguised. Hudson, prompted by prosecutors, read portions of the letter allegedly written by James Craig to the jury. Some of those sections read in the courtroom are detailed below in part. The letter begins with the signature, "Thank you in advance for making me and my kids the happiest people on earth, James Craig." "Hey, Casey," Harris's ex-wife. "I know you don't know me, and I don't know you. I would never formally be this trusting, but I've been unjustly accused of a truly horrible crime, thus fighting fire with fire to clear my name and return me to my kids. Favor I'm asking you, there will of course be financial incentive, but I know you do not need my money, but it's worth it to me, so I'd like to offer 20 grand to each witness." I like he had that. "I'd like for you to be one of the witnesses, and your sister. After I pay you, you can pay the others in accordance to what you feel is appropriate. I can pay you once I'm out and my assets are unfrozen. My attorney is Harvey Steinberg, who I think you know. But I think it might be best if you went directly to the DA to execute this plan. First, someone in jail set me up. I wrote letters to his family and friends offering to pay them. Instead of sending them to his family and friends, he sent them to the DA in an effort to negotiate his own case. Why on earth would you do this again after that? I don't know what to say. Okay. I also want to give you a lot of latitude in these stories. Nate has expressed tremendous confidence in you. I would rather you do what seems natural to you instead of sticking rigidly to a plan I devised. And Nate also said you go above and beyond using Photoshop. These additional proofs may be necessary to effectively sell your story. You essentially have, within reason, a blank check here. I think now is a good time to share with you several details about my wife, Angela. The letter then provided a phone number, a date of birth, an address, and a Facebook for the couple's joint account. Roll 1. This one is for you. You're a friend of Angie's, and how you met and how far back your friendship goes is up to you. You know, because Ange confided to you about the threat of suicide. Pardon me. The next part is crucial. The worst, dirtiest detective in the world is on my case. Her name is Bobby Olson, and we have to discredit her. I need you to say that after Ange died, you reached out to APD to share the above details, and you told her this whole story. When you finished, Detective Olson berated you, said she didn't believe you, accused you of lying, and told you to keep quiet. Obviously, you need to refuse to communicate with Olson. If no one will listen to you, you need to go to the media. Roll 2. Oh, I'm getting some pains in my neck. For your sister, I hope. Also go to the DA. Your sister used to visit the family history library and volunteered at. Often there's nobody there except your sister and Ange that became casual friends. If you're worried about the DA linking you and your sister, you can use a fake name. Make sure Harvey can contact you after your statements make it into discovery. Because I'm sure the DA is not going to call you as a witness. Harvey will need to call you as a defense witness. Roll 3. Someone who can say they were either there with your sister at the family library or even better. If the third witness can corroborate your story, if your sister feels comfortable incorporating more of the details from your own into her story, the better. Pardon me. Roll 4. Go to Harvey about this, not the DA. The person is either a friend of or someone overheard Caitlin Romero, my former office manager. She's about 25 years old, plump, pretty face. Caitlin was recently heard bragging that she had been subpoenaed. It sounded like she fabricated evidence or testimony. Something about the search history at work. Also, something about how she ordered the cyanide that killed Ange. Caitlin said she did what she did because her bosses pushed her to do it. She said they give her a huge financial incentive to help. I mean, y'all, okay, let's pause for a second. All thanks for gifting 5 memberships, Emily. Y'all, this is insane. Okay, the only I mean, literally, he wrote this in jail. Brenda says this is exactly like a murder mystery party. Yo, I cannot. Okay, now here's the other thing. Okay, so number one, the only resemblance of like any kind, I'm not going to say sanity, but like well, at least he put this much effort into it. And that's the getting the guy to hide it in legal mail in the thing, right? Because they can't access that stuff or whatever. So that's like the only slight like point we'll give him in this whole situation. After that, this is crazy. Okay. I mean, he has like how, again, I'll see it a million times. How on earth, with this evidence, would you even think to go to trial? Okay. Because not only is it showing that he clearly is guilty of the charges he caught in jail, but why would you be doing those if you didn't, like, he's admitting to the crime in this, right? Like, why would you be making this up? Tammy says, Tammy says, even Murder, She Wrote would have rejected the storyline. NCIS would have been like, this is too transparent. We can't with this. This is too wrapped up and done or whatever. Like, no, it has to be somewhat believable. I mean, I cannot, y'all. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait, let me do this. Let me take this out. Okay. So Harvey Steinberg, who was mentioned in the letter, was one of James Craig's former attorneys. He withdrew from the case just before the initial trial was scheduled to begin in 2024. In cross-exam, the defense attorney would have questioned Hudson about security measures throughout the Arapahoe County Jail. Every time I say it, it's like a brand new word, including what's recorded and kept as records for jail staff to review. Quote, you never pulled the text between Loretta and Harris prior to the search of the cell, or listened to the phone calls between the two before the search, end quote, Woodham asked. Quote, no, that's pretty far out of my scope, Hudson replied in part. Woodham then asked Hudson if Hudson was taking Loretta at her word, to which Hudson replied, the findings speak for themselves. I mean, honestly, I would just set my down if I was the defense attorney. The defense attorney then asked Hudson if there was a property sheet, a form inmates can fill out so their belongings can be released to the family or friends, and the envelope that did not have Harris's name on it. This is someone else's property sheet found in Harris's possession, Woodham asked. Correct, Hudson said. Court then took a lunch break. Okay. The wife of the former cellmate testifies about the letter that she allegedly received from James Craig. So after court resumes Wednesday, the prosecution called Cassiani, the wife of Nathaniel Harris, James Craig's former cellmate. Cassiani and Harris have been separated since 2022. They have kids together. In November 2024, she received a letter at her home addressed to her from Jimmy. She said the return address on the letter was 90210, like Beverly Hills, California. She was on the phone with Bobby Olson, the lead detective of the case with the Aurora Police Department, when she pulled the letter out of her mailbox. She testified that she started to open the letter but then stopped after being told by Olson. Cassie testified that she did not know Angela or James Craig, and she had never met or spoken with either of them. She said she did not help James Craig with this case and never met his attorney, Harvey Steinberg. She said she has no control over what Harris tells people in jail. She was then cross-examined by the defense. She said she and Harris are still legally married but currently separated. She testified that she has known Harris for 25 years and has a good sense of who he is. According to Cassie, Harris was struggling with drug addiction in 2024 and was in and out of jail. Hold on. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. She said that he has a reputation for being untruthful. There was no redirect. A romantic partner of James Craig said that they met through sugar dating website. Y'all, I mean, at this point, how have we gotten into sugar babies? How? Of course we're there though. Why am I even questioning any of this, right? Of course we're at a sugar babies website. Where else would we be, right? I mean, seriously. I mean, it's poor Angela. Okay, poor Angela. The things that this man put this woman through, I can only fathom. By 10 a.m. every morning, she was exhausted. Okay, exhausted. Oh my gosh. I know, right? And no shame to the sugar baby thing. It's just with him, it's like, of course, right? I know, right? That's the other part. Jessica says, what sugar can he even get? He was on a pink packets of pink stuff. That's the thing with him, right? That's the thing with him. He doesn't. And the 90210 thing, come on, y'all. I mean, really. He was on that Splenda side. He was on the Splenda baby side. He was like, "I'll get you later." Okay, let's see where we're at. So the prosecution calls Carrie Hagseth to the stand. Carrie's a mother and drives for Lyft. Carrie said she met James in the fall of 2022 after he messaged her on Seeking, a website initially created for sugar dating. A couple of weeks later, the two met in person for the first time at Bonefish Grill in Loveland. The two met roughly 4 times in person, according to Carrie. She testified that there was a sexual component to her relationship with James, and she at first thought he had separated from his wife. After one meeting at a very nice restaurant in Greenwood Village, the two got into their own cars and met at a hotel not far away. Carrie said that James provided money and resources to her. She testified that James Craig paid for meals when they got together, bought a $9,000 Honda Accord for her daughter, and gave her $100 for each of her children for Christmas. She also said that he helped pay for an attorney, and Carrie was going through a separation at the time. The attorney's retainer was between $2,500 and $3,000. She couldn't call the exact amount. Carrie then discussed a contract that James Craig wanted her daughter to sign related to the car. At the time, I believe it was to ... Well, he said it was to make my daughter feel responsible, Carrie said. Oh, God, this is getting even creepier. The contract allegedly outlined expectations for Carrie's daughter in exchange for the vehicle, which included maintaining good grades. She said James Craig wrote up the contract and signed the second page, but Carrie and her daughter did not sign it. Following the discussion about the vehicle, the prosecution then began questioning Carrie about communications between her and Craig. Carrie testified that James Craig told her he was not happy in his marriage and was trying to figure out how to get a divorce. Craig allegedly said the financial separation from Angela was near impossible in his eyes. He said that it would make him completely broke and destitute, such as the situation that Carrie was in. One day, the two were talking about the movie The Purge, in which there is one day when everyone can kill whoever they want without consequences. And according to Carrie, James Craig said he would purge his wife if that were a reality. He also, apparently he made it a reality. He also allegedly told Carrie that he knew how to get away with murder. No, he absolutely did not. That 100% was a lie. Though he did not specifically mention his wife, James reportedly talked about just injecting someone in the neck with a substance. That's probably what he did. Well, he put in the whole thing. Carrie said that James never mentioned that Angela was suicidal. Once the two got to know each other better, Carrie gave James Craig her real phone number instead of using a burner phone. The prosecution then went over text messages reportedly exchanged between Carrie and James. One message from James to Carrie read this. Hold on, let me scroll down. Hey, so big problems. Ange found the Doubletree Hotel receipt, discovered the missing money I used to pay for your daughter's car. I told her that we met on Seeking, but that I'm not sleeping with you. I just really wanted to help you out with your situation. I got you a hotel to stay in because you didn't have anywhere to sleep. Told her I bought your daughter the car and the hotel to get you out of the dangerous situation you were in. I'm gonna have to go radio silent for a while, and if you do get a call, now you know what I told her. I mean, y'all, he's gonna tell his. You know the gaslighting was strong. Hey, Tori, you know the gaslighting was strong in that. No, it's bought a car. I'm trying to get over a situation. It's bought the car. What are you talking about? You know he gaslit her, made her think she was absolutely crazy for even thinking such a thing. But even then, it's like, okay, you have all these money problems. This is why you got money problems. You know, how much that thousands of dollars he dropped? And she's probably at home thinking, we're late on this bill. And what, $9,000's missing? $3,000 here? $4,000 here? What? I mean, I can already hear his conversation. But also remember how with the current mistress, the one that, the most recent situation or whatever, right? Okay, remember how he went to her, was like, I'm going to go radio silent. It's just what he does. It's just what he does. I told her we weren't sleeping together. Cannot roll my eyes hard enough. Okay, there's more. Let's keep going. So Carrie said that she knew Angela's name at the time and knew that James was referring to his wife. She also said that James' note about them not sleeping together was false. James reportedly resent the message January 9th. Carrie testified that she thought she saw it originally, but it took her a while to respond, so James resent it. James then sent the following message. So, I've just had to lay low, and I'll still need to keep doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not mad. Just doing some serious damage control over here. I'm so glad you're loving your attorney and doing well, though. I've been worried about you. Below is another text exchange between James Craig and Carrie. James, good for you. I'm so sorry. You're so far behind on everything. I wish I could help you. I'm seriously just at a loss. I don't see any way out for me. Kind of depressed about it. Carrie, sweetheart, don't say that, please. Carrie, I know the feeling, but you have so many reasons to live. James, I'm not happy, but can't get divorced right now. I'm not suicidal. I'm just stuck. James also shared how he wished that he could send Carrie more money. Carrie testified that James told her that Angela was sleuthing, making it harder for him to send funds. When asked if the extra money would have been helpful at this point in her life, she said, yeah. January 4th, when is it not, right? January 14th, that's like, please, come on now. On January 14th, James texted Carrie, quote, I hope you know I'm not putting you off. I still want to support you in every way, including financially. I have to do something about the situation I'm in first, though, end quote. I'm looking at it, it's like the situation is your marriage of 20-some years. Yeah. How about we be worried about that, right? It's so fascinating to get behind the scenes into how these people work. Because here's the thing with these type personalities. In the moment of living this out, they're just like, they have all these plates spinning with people and all these gaslighting manipulative situations going on at the same time. So this like peels that layer back and we can like see it all playing out at one time, right? And you're just like, oh my, exhausting. Right? Hold on. Could you give me a Coke?
No.
Pretty please.
No.
Jake wants one too.
No.
I'm trying to stay awake for everybody over here. Matt's gonna give me a soda, y'all. I'm dying over here. I'm parched. I can barely talk. Blanche.
Hopefully your new home comes with this lemon syrup.
It might. Thank you. Craig smart, Craig not. The force is not with you. I can get y'all real quick by taking into this. I know, right? Coke Zeros for everybody. There is something about drinking out of a soda can. I don't know what it is. It is so refreshing to me. I absolutely love it. Is that just me? Oh, right. And I don't know if you heard Matt said. I hope he's like, "Is your new place going to come with a servant?" I was like, "What might? Hopefully so." Oh yeah, the glass bottles, right, Aaron? Oh my gosh. Yeah, the glass or the metal can. I don't know what it is. Okay, so here we go. Let's continue. Now that I'm rehydrated. Okay, so hey, let me find where I was at. Okay, here we go. So January 14th. I hope you know I'm not putting you off. I want to support you in every way, including financially. I have something to do about the situation I'm in first. So, okay, now here we go. So Carrie believed that James Craig was talking about his marriage. She said that she gave James the impression that she knew someone who could help him hide his assets overseas. February 1st, 2023. James texted Carrie, quote, "Do you know anyone who can help me with my problem down here? I can pay handsomely. I want to be with you." Carrie testified that she thought the problem was Angela. Carrie replied, "I think you should hit up a homeless person," meaning someone who did not have much to lose. She testified. The next day, on February 2nd, James replied, "Hitting up a homeless person actually sounds like the only choice right now. I made $66,000 in January, and I want desperately to share that with you and help you. I feel so trapped." I'm just going to be quiet. On February 9th, James texted Carrie, "Sorry, I'm okay. Just really trying to put out a lot of fires at home. I'm okay, though. I just really can't get it together right now. I hope everything's going as well as can be expected for you." A few days later, on February 13th, he sent, "Oh, geez, babe. I so wish I could figure crap out every year. I can't believe solving little problems like this is so hard. It shouldn't be this hard," he said. Just so frustrated, so stuck. Okay. Literally wants to be. He telling this woman, "I want to be with you." The woman who just told you to go hit a homeless person to get rid of your wife, right? It's like y'all. This guy is delusional. Period. End of story. Like this is the level of delusion here. Like it's just like we're talking Lori Daybell level here. Okay, let's keep going. How did this fly under the radar? I had not heard about this till y'all started hitting me up. Okay, like this is crazy. The following message was sent to Carrie from James on February 14th. "Yeah, I know you're used to it and you're strong, but this day is honestly killing me. Ugh, I want to be with you so bad. And I know that money doesn't solve problems, but it can exasperate a lot of problems when there isn't any of it. I've had some really, really amazing profitable months. I just can't get any of the money into your hands right now. It sucks, especially when I think about how you can't feed your kids and how you're on the brink of homelessness. We need to find a way to solve my problem." Then this message was sent to Carrie by James Craig. Quote, "I was thinking of bringing $2,000 to help you out, but I don't know. Let me know if this is something you're interested in, because I can still help you out, even if it's just like next week for lunch. I'm so sorry. If there was ever any suggestion that you would meet me for free, let me restart that one. Oh God, I'm so sorry. If there was ever any suggestion that you would meet me for free, we were at an arrangement, and I hope the resourcefulness will be able to help me." He's so okay. He is so absolutely trying to manipulate her into helping him kill his wife. Like, so absolutely trying to do this, right? Like that. It's so gross. It is so gross. Carrie said that she and James last talked on February 18th. The defense then began. The defense is probably going to tear her up. The defense then began its cross-examination of Carrie, starting with her relationship with James. Lisa Moses asked Carrie if she would date James in exchange for money or other items, and Carrie said such an exchange was part of the operation. She's like, "Did you look at him? Trust me, honey. That was the whole point of the situation. You read the text messages. You see what's sitting over there at the defense table. Yes, 100% it was about money." Okay. No shame in my game at all on that one, right? I mean, come on, right? Let's give the woman some credit here. Okay. I'm just like, absolutely wear that crown, queen. You work for that money. She earned every penny of it, okay? I'm talking, and overtime, and probably needs some damn back pay too, okay? Let's just be honest, right? Come on now. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Carrie testified that some of the text exchange with James were intimate, and Moses highlighted that James would give Carrie compliments and tell her how great she is. Moses also asked Carrie if that felt good, to which Carrie said, "I'm not sure that it felt good always." Moses then questioned Carrie about the attorney, James Craig, reportedly paid to help her during her separation. And Carrie said that James knew she was in a battle for custody over her kids, which she eventually lost. The defense then moved on to a meeting between Carrie and Bobby Olson in February 2024. When questioned, Carrie said that she didn't remember if she told Olson about James's alleged comment about the purge. Moses asserted that Carrie did not tell Olson about James Craig's alleged comment about injecting someone in the neck, to which Carrie replied, "I remember talking about a substance with them." During redirect, prosecutor Michael Moreau showed Carrie her full statements to Bobby Olson, which included comments made about an injection and the purge. The jury then asked two questions. One of them was like, "How can I what's this website?" One of the dudes was like, "What's this sugar website? What's the pepper and salt sugar website? I want to do some research on that tonight now." I'm getting $20 a day from this. Can I get on the pepper, salt, sugar, spices website? I want to check that out. Okay, let me meet y'all. I take a sip of this. Okay. Okay, so they asked two questions. The first was when the relationship between James and Carrie ended. And the second was whether Carrie thought about marrying. Was whether she thought about marrying James. Carrie said the relationship ended on February 18th, and the two discussed getting married in the future. Carrie was an excuse from the stand. I mean, they probably were just personally curious about that, right? They're like, "This is just a personal curious thing." Okay, when you close your eyes, do you still see that face of his in like, doing the little kind of like, tremors or whatever? Did you personally think about marrying, taking his hand in wedlock, sleeping next to him for the rest of your life? Oh my God. My third question would have been like, "Are you okay?" Are you okay? Okay, like seriously. Oh my God. Are you okay? Okay, let me get another sip. We'll keep going. I mean, okay, let's keep going. And another romantic partner talks about a trip to Montana. I'm going to go ahead, before we even read anything into it, I'm guessing money's at the center of it. Like, let's keep going. The prosecution then called Jordan Ivy to the stand. In late 2022, she was living in Colorado and was on Seeking. Yeah, you knew it wasn't going to be something like legit, right? Like somebody just naturally he met out in the wild. The only one that we've heard so far, well, besides Angela, I'm not including her because obviously she was married to him, like, and who knows what they were like, a long time ago, but was the mistress, because it sounded like he legit met her at this dentist convention, but all these other women are from this website. Okay, so Jordan said she met James on Seeking in October 2022. Their first date was at a restaurant downtown near Union Station. After several dates, Ivy said that she and James Craig took a trip to Montana together. She thought the trip was James's idea, and he paid for the tickets. Previously, the prosecution had presented text from Angela to James where she was upset that he was in Montana and had seemingly learned about an affair he was having. James and Ivy stayed in an Airbnb, which James booked, she testified. Ivy said James bought her a nice jacket, and she also said she received an iPhone and monetary gifts via Venmo during the course of their relationship. Ivy testified, quote, "To me, it was not very serious. I definitely felt like the relationship, was more serious for him than it was for me." She said that she got that perception from James Craig's excessive texting. Okay, 100%. James is the kind of dude that goes to a strip bar and legit is like, she's in love with me. She's in love with me. Did you see her look at me? No, this is for real. I mean, I get that's her job. I mean, I get that, right? And I get she's looking at these other bozos a certain way. But no, this is different. We have a connection. And it's like, you just met her 5 minutes ago and gave her $50. Like, of course she's like, I would be looking at you that way too. I'd want another $50 from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be looking at you all sorts of ways, okay? Like, come on, dude. But remember, in the current relationship, like when I say like the legit relationship, whatever, I'm talking about with the mistress that he met, the dentist thing, right? It's just legit because he didn't meet her off the website. But remember, there was 4,000 text messages. Okay. Yeah, 100%. I made jokes in the beginning where I was like, "Oh, you're like 3,952 were from him to her." It might be legit. Like that might really be how it went down. Okay, so okay, let's see here. First of all, before you go there, let me take a sip. Okay. The two stopped talking in early January 2023. Ivy said it was not a dramatic breakup. The relationship just tapered off. Ivy said that she was aware that James was married and he would sometimes discuss his marriage. During their first date, Ivy said that James told her he loved his wife, but that there were things missing from the relationship. He reportedly mentioned not being happy at home and preparing for a divorce. Ivy said she did not suggest the divorce. During cross, the defense, Lisa, asked or pressed Ivy about her relationship with James. Ivy confirmed that the relationship became sexual, and she described his constant texting as needy. Moses then presented some messages reportedly sent from James to Ivy. The following messages were sent within days of Ivy and James meeting in October. Okay. Geez, is this normal to meet somebody one time and start making plans for all the things you like to do together? I hope this doesn't freak you out. I feel a strong connection to you. I hope it just doesn't weird you out. This is so new. But I'm jumping in with both feet. The defense attorney also brought up these messages sent by James Craig. Is it healthy to be this excited about spending time in the presence of another human? Thank you so much for another magical evening. I still can't believe I found you. Please text me when you get home safely so don't worry. Man, I miss you. Sometimes when I go a long time without seeing you, I miss you more. Mind you, she's over here that I talk about like, you just paid my phone bill. You just got me an iPhone, dude. It's not that deep, right? I mean, come on. I mean, It's like, but that's what's even so. It's like, it's almost like in his world, he buys them or something, and then it's like, okay, I've put money into this situation. Now you're gonna play this fantasy with me. Because it's almost like, dude, there's money at the center of this, like, and you're treating this like she said, like he's way more serious about this. It's like this should be like just a lighthearted exchange situation. You're hooking her up with something she needs, and apparently, she's giving you something you need. You're both mutually benefiting from this two adult situation agreement, right? There's not like, yeah, it's the girlfriend experience, right, Brenda? Literally what it is, right? It's like he's treating it like that. And it's just like, well, okay, right? I mean, but yeah, I don't know. It's creepy. Like, I'd be embarrassed to go back to the unit if I was him. I mean, with this stuff out there, like, they're laughing at him. Okay. Moses noted that Ivy was not responding in the same tenor as James Craig, of course not, but that he persisted with his messages. During their communications, James reportedly mentioned wanting to go to Paris with Ivy in the spring. James also reportedly offered to give Ivy an allowance to buy sex things. Moses brought up how James Craig sent Ivy pictures of his children and a song. The two allegedly made vague plans to go to New York. During redirect, the prosecution asked Ivy about a divorce comment made by James Craig to her. Ivy said she did not tell James Craig to get a divorce. She was then excused from the witness stand, and they ended the testimony for that day. So now we're going to come over to what they have. Let's do this of today. Let me replenish, please. Okay. James Craig's brother and sister-in-law recalled in court Thursday some of the odd behavior the Aurora dentist demonstrated both in text messages and in person, as Angela Craig's health turned for the worse hours before her death. James is on trial, but let's skip to this part. We just did that. A woman who met James through a dating site describes his advances as too much for her. So the court resumes. The prosecutor calls Elizabeth Gore, a data analyst who met James Craig through Seeking.com, which she described as a dating website geared toward finding a sugar daddy. Gore told the court that James reached out to her first through the website before they started texting each other. Eventually, they met in person about 3 or 4 times. The first time they met was for lunch somewhere around Aurora, which she said happened about a month after first messaging each other on the dating site. She recalled that it happened around Thanksgiving. A week or 2 after that, they met for lunch again, possibly another week after. They went to REI, she said. Things between them escalated, and their meetings became more frequent after REI, she recalled. Following their meeting at REI, Gore said that they met at the airport to go ski in Bozeman, Montana, but their trip was cut short after James got a call from Angela that lasted nearly 2 hours. After the call, James told Gore he needed to go back home. Gore told the court that she knew James was married but asked no further details as she didn't want to know about it. She would later find out that Angela knew that James Craig was with her in Montana, and that's why he had to go home. He's also really bad at cheating, right? Like, you see how he did this to murder. He was just like leaving trip things out in the open, doing this, doing that. Like, he gets caught every time. It's just like, I mean, if you're going to go on a ski trip with another woman and leave your wife and kids at home like that, I mean, you got to be a little bit more sly. He's probably making up some stupid thing like why I had to go there. She called him every time. Had to have. Okay. She testified that James gave her primarily monetary gifts, totaling about $8,000. She also testified that there was a sexual component to their relationship. Gore said they continued texting after their failed ski trip, and she eventually learned that James Craig lied to Angela, telling her he was no longer communicating with anyone through the dating website. In cross-exam, defense attorney Lisa Moses questioned Gore about James's intentions for going back home after his wife found out he was cheating on her with Gore. He wanted to go home and fix this. That's what the messaging you got, asked Moses. To my knowledge, Gore replied. Moses then presented to the court a series of text messages between James and Gore. In one of those texts, James appears to communicate with her in an endearing manner with lots of positive affirmations. You learn you were not the only person he was sending these kinds of messages to, calling you baby, etc., Moses asked. Yes, Gore replied. While in Las Vegas during the continuing education conference where James Craig met Dr. Karen Kane, that's the one I'm talking about, like the woman he met not through a dating site, who testified in court Tuesday, James reportedly continued texting with Gore and never told her he met Dr. Kane there. But I don't think she would care, right? Like, I mean, I don't think that's part of this equation, you know. And I'm not saying that they're trying to insinuate that, but it's just like some of the stuff is like, why would she care? It's almost like, yeah, please, like, you know, great, one less job for me, you know, here's my light bill. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like a very situational situation. It's like a transaction. And I think the women are driving, like, I mean, their heads are on right about it, right? It's like, you know, I'm not trying to marry this dude. We're just trying to get to the day. He's one over here talking about, like, baby, I don't want you to know I'm cheating on you. I don't care. I welcome it. Okay. Please. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Wait. Okay, so let's scroll down. In the text messages, James Craig mentions how they rented out Allegiant Stadium and had dinner catered on the field. This was the same dinner that he went to with Dr. Kane. Other text sent from Las Vegas airport shows that James told Gore his flight was delayed. That flight was delayed because Dr. Kane's testimony from Tuesday showed he ran to another gate to give Dr. Kane a kiss before they parted ways. Gore testified that James sent her flowers on February 28th and explained that he would be going through a divorce. In other texts, James Craig tells Gore he wants to introduce her to his kids, but she replied she wasn't ready for that. Met her once. I want to introduce you to the kids. In a March 2nd text, James talks about hanging out with the girls, singing Disney songs at the top of their lungs while doing dishes, and tells Gore that he looks forward to the day when you can maybe be a part of this. But communication between the two started decreasing, Gore said, and in a text days later, James asked Gore if he's texting too much. Gore replies that given James Craig's situation, it's too much for her. But James persists, asking her if she's still interested in the relationship. In the redirect, the prosecutor asked Gore about James's advances towards her in the relationship, which she said she was annoyed by, and added that James gave her the impression that he was actively in a divorce proceeding that after their failed ski trip to Montana. Gore was excused from the witness stand. Angela Craig's brother takes the stand, describing his sister as someone who's always happy. The prosecutor called the 44th witness, Mark Prey, Angela Craig's brother. Prey works for a cloud security company. He is one of the 9 other children in the family, with Angela Craig being the youngest of them all. When asked if he and Angela were close before she died, Prey said they were always close. Our whole family's close. In describing Angela, Prey said that she was kind of a type A personality, very in control, an organizer, took charge in instances, but also was really good at cooperating among the family. She also described her as very strong, very dependable, and always happy. Said that she's been that way since she was a kid. Before her death, Prey said that Angela's physical state was that of a strong woman who was always working out and who loved biking. Describing her mental state, Prey said that Angela was sharp but positive. Prey also said that Angela loved being a mom. That was her number one thing in life, he said, adding that Angela was not reckless and not a risk taker. Angela wasn't manipulative. She was cooperative. Prey said, describing his sister as someone with many friends whom she could reach out to if she ever needed to talk to someone. There's only one person in this world who would say she's suicidal, and that's the person who murdered her, Prey said. Ooh! He called him out in the stand. We love this. Okay, Prey testified that the whole family, including James, was part of a group text in which Angela discussed not feeling well. He recalled his sister expressing concerns that she wasn't getting answers from doctors about her deteriorating health. He told the court that in one text, James Craig described not knowing anything was even wrong with Angela during one of her hospital stays after several nurses came into the room because her blood oxygen saturation was low. That's when Prey and his family decided to drive from Utah at least help out with the kids. During a visit to the hospital, Prey said Angela appeared better than expected given all the things they heard on the text messages, and said there's no indication that she knew what was wrong with her. After she was taken home from the hospital on March 14th, Prey said it seemed like Angela Craig was exhausted, like the trip home took something out of her. He said his sister told him she felt like she was shaking internally, but he couldn't see any shaking at all from the outside. The following day, Prey called, getting a text from James Craig reminding him that Angela Craig had to take a dose of the clindamycin due to sinus infection. The antibiotic, which is used to treat certain types of bacterial infections, including infections of the lungs, skin, blood, female reproductive organs, and internal organs, is not recommended for use against colds, flu, or other viral infections. Prey said he remembered a dramatic change in his sister's condition after taking those pills. He said she was able to eat something before so that the medication wouldn't upset her stomach, but within 20 to 25 minutes, she couldn't even hold herself up. He said he decided to take herself to the emergency room immediately. He recalled Angela's condition worsening as they were getting to the hospital, saying she was able to answer some questions from medical staff. They sometimes had to repeat. He said that if she wasn't being asked something, she would pass out. What a horrible thing. What a horrible. Can you imagine the guilt that you would have over that? And it's like, no, it's not his fault or anything like that. But like, just that level of that, because you don't know that the husband's poisoning her with these pills. Oh my God. Literally no shame. Okay. Here we go. The first time James arrived at the hospital that day, Prey remembers that he didn't stick around very long. He said that he had to go take care of some stuff for work so he could come back and spend the rest of the day with his wife in the emergency room. Quote, at some point, does James Craig kind of get rid of you? Morrow asked Prey. He does, he answered, saying that James told him he had already spent most of the morning with his sister. Prey said that the only reason he left the hospital is because he felt like spouses trump brothers, and maybe he wanted to be alone with Angela, and he would respect that. Prey said he didn't make it 15 minutes out of the hospital when he got a call from his other sister, Tony, who said Angela Craig had crashed, so he returned the car around and went back to the ER immediately. It's a madhouse. There's staff in there working on her. They're bagging her, trying to keep her alive. James was sitting in a chair just by the nurse's station, he recalled. He said that at some point after Angela Craig's crash, no one was allowed to see her after she had to be moved to the ICU, and noticed that James was nowhere to be found. Prey was the only one who was sitting by his sister's side before she was rolled away. On the night of March 15th, Prey testified that he talked with Ryan Redfern. Remember, that's the former business partner of James. And a bishop for a long time before he texted James the following, quote, I think they view Angie's passing as suspicious because they can't find a reason, and that's why it's taking so long, wrote Prey. At least your partner Redfern had talked to a nurse, and that's what he was telling me. So we already know that by the time Redfern talked to the nurse, that they knew what the drill was, right? Okay. 2 days later, Prey recalled that James pulling up in his truck with an overnight bag, and he asked him where he had gone to which James replied that he just went for a drive. That same night, James had stayed at a hotel with Dr. Kane. What? I'm sorry. One of his romantic partners who he met at a conference in Las Vegas and who had flown from Texas to meet him. In Cross, defense attorney centered her line of questioning around Prey's relationship to his sister and whether he was aware that James Craig was cheating on his wife with other women. He told Moses that James Craig is a hyper guy who has a lot of energy, but during Angela Craig's crash, James Craig was sitting still in a chair. There was no redirect from the prosecution, but the jury had some questions for Prey, including whether James or Angela Craig ever told him they were getting divorced or were separated, to which he said they never did. Prey said that when James came back to the hospital after his kids asked for him, he appeared more agitated and more anxious. Court then took a morning break, and then they come back. The victim's sister-in-law recalls James questioning their choice to take Angela Craig to the hospital. Prosecutor Ryan Brackley then calls Renee Prey to the witness stand. She's the wife of Mark Prey and Angela Craig's sister-in-law. She testified that she and Mark were coming out to help James and Angela with the kids due to Angela's worsening health issues. She said she didn't spend much time with Angela, but rather her kids, as she was in charge of taking care of them and whatever else needed to be taken care of. She also said that she was the one to tell James Craig that Angela Craig had taken her medication for the alleged sinus infection she was experiencing. She also testified that she and her husband took Angela Craig's vitals after her condition got worse from the medication she took. Renee Prey recalled James Craig calling her, wanting to know more details about his wife's condition. She said that Craig then questioned her as to why she was taken to a hospital when he felt she should be at home resting and not moving around. Of course. She also recalled a time when a nurse came in asking about taking a urine sample from Angela. She said that James was present in the room and questioned the nurse as to whether that was really necessary since Angela was not on drugs. Renee also recalled hearing from James Craig that her last words were, "Why do I hurt?" In cross-examination, Prosecutor Moses questioned if she ever found James Craig's behavior odd while in the hospital, to which she replied that she did not, and didn't question anything that was happening at the time. Court then went on lunch break. Okay, let me get a sip of this real quick. Sorry, I forgot to mute it. I'm sorry. Okay. Where we at? Angela Craig's older sister testifies about James Craig's affairs and Angela feeling ill. The 46 witness, Tony from Utah, was called to the stand around 1:30 on Thursday. Following lunch break, Tony is Angela Craig's older sister and best friend, she said. They've always been close and share personal info about their lives. When prosecutor Osama asked Tony to share more about her younger sister, she started to choke up. Angela was smart and funny. She was confident and in control. She told the courtroom she was the baby, but if you walked into her house or any given room, we could all be standing there and she would take charge. She was not timid, but kind. She was inclusive. And she never wanted anyone to be left out, hence the reason she had so many friends. Because if anybody thought they didn't have someone in their corner, she was always there. Prosecutor asked if Angela was a risk taker. And Tony replied no. She was never ever one that would risk her life for fun. She loved life and her kids, and Tony never knew her to be suicidal. When prompted by the prosecution, she added that her sister was absolutely not manipulative, but rather was honest to a fault, straightforward, and very clear about what she wanted in her life and what she wanted from you. In 2018, Angela shared with her sister that James Craig was having an affair. Tony recalled her sister calling her on a Sunday sobbing because James had come home and said he had been having an affair for 6 months. About a month after this phone call, Angela Craig told Tony that James Craig had given her a substance without her consent. Few other details about this were allowed to be shared in court. Despite this, the Craigs ended up talking through their issues and came to the decision that work on their marriage and stay together. They had both individual therapy and couples therapy. December 9th, Angela told Tony that she had found something on her husband's computer and that he had made it impossible for her to stay. She was feeling broken and really alone and numb, the sister said. A couple of days later, Angela explained that she had thought James was cheating, but it wasn't what I thought it was, and so she decided to stay and to fight for her marriage, Tony said, adding that James told her he had not been having an affair. Of course not. You know what? What's going on? That's probably that time where he was like paying for the woman's kid, the first sugar, website girl. And then he was like, no, I'm just helping her out. That was probably them. I'm guessing, I don't know. Skip ahead to late February and early March. Tony thought the Craig's marriage was still on the mend. She reiterated that her sister showed no indication of wanting to hurt herself or end her life. In early March, Angela visited Tony in Utah. Tony recalled picking up her sister and noticed how tired she looked. Angela said she had been up all night fighting with her husband, but had promised him she wouldn't tell Tony what the fight was about. The rest of the trip was enjoyable, Tony said. We laughed, we talked, we ate things we shouldn't. They made plans to visit Newport, Rhode Island for their next trip. Angela Craig returned home to Colorado on March 5th, and Tony texted her to make sure she was back okay. Her sister responded that she was not all right, but couldn't explain it because her head felt weird and her body was sluggish. Tony testified that her sister was not ill when she left Utah. And let me just check this real quick. What is this? Okay, sorry. 2 days later, Angela texted Tony to say that she was stuffy and seeing spots and still didn't know what was causing her symptoms. She added that her blood sugar was high after exercising and not eating anything, which she found odd. Tony had also texted James about the illness and did not give any indication he knew what was happening either. She said on March 9th, 2023, Angela Craig texted to say she was dizzy and tired and my muscles didn't want to work today, but she had consumed a protein shake and other liquids that morning to try to help. Well, we know what that had in it. Angela was hospitalized the same day and was discharged on March 14th, the last time Tony spoke with her sister, and readmitted the following day. Tony, who was part of the family text chain, said Angela's frustrations continued on May 15th, as she had seen many specialists and nobody seemed to know what was ailing her. She did have chronic sinus infections, which was normally fixed with a Z-Pack. During a cross-examination led by defense attorney Lisa, Tony clarified that Angela did not feel like infidelity had been a consistent part of her marriage, as her husband had an affair 10 years prior and had then just one more recently. To her knowledge, each of those 2 times, James told Angela to leave him, but she did not want to, and he eventually would say he also did not want a divorce. Tony recalled her sister telling her. Moses asked about the multiple affairs in 2018 heard in court during trial, and Tony said her sister only knew about one. Moses said that Moses said that Tony had sat in the courtroom for the entire trial and seen woman after woman come in and testify about their affairs with James Craig. She asked about Angela Craig, saying it wasn't what I thought it was when she suspected her husband of cheating in December 2022. Absolutely, it was what I thought it was, Tony said, adding that James had shared a partial truth and told his wife that he saw a woman during a trip to Montana, but was not using her for sexual or intimate purposes. Angela wanted to believe that, Tony said. Tony said she did not buy it. When Angela was admitted to the hospital on March 9th, James texted Tony to ask if she was planning to come to Colorado anytime soon. Angela's condition was not improving. He added that he could handle it on his own if she was unable to visit. Tony was starting a new job March 13th. Tony confirmed for the defense attorney that she did not come to Colorado until her sister was declared brain dead on March 15th. After Angela's death, Tony began exploring the family's genealogy and asked for a key to the storage unit that the family had rented. There, she found a journal which was photocopied and sent in its entirety to law enforcement. The court then broke for afternoon recess. Cell phone, Cell phone GPS data expert explains Craig's movements around the time of Angela's death. When the court resumed, the prosecutors brought in Garrett Lord, a full-time subject matter expert. Oh, Lord, we got Daryl Brooks up in here, subject matter expert. He's for a company that provides cellular analysis software. He was previously an investigator with the 18th Judicial District. Lord has testified as an expert more than a dozen times and was submitted as such for cell phone and GPS data analysis for this trial. Lord brought up texts from Angela Craig's, James Craig's, and Corinne Kane's cell phones, which also included internet searches. One of them included a search on James Craig's cell phone on February 27, 2023 at 2:34 p.m. that read, "Is there such a thing as an undetectable poison?" followed by one at 3:20 p.m. that read, "How to make poison from oleander," and one the next minute for "Buy arsenic, Aurora, Colorado." During the time of those searches, his cell phone was in the area of Summerbrook Dental, Lord testified. Around the same time, Angela's cell phone showed her near the Craig house. On the following day, February 28th and March 1st, data showed James texting both his wife and Kane. The prosecutor brought up the search history from the Summerbrook Dental exam room on March 1st, which showed the following searches. Is barium acetate soluble? Buy barium carbonate, Aurora, Colorado. Does barium carbonate have a taste? How long does it take to die from barium poisoning? How long does it take to die from barium poisoning? March 6, 7:31 a.m. Angela texts James, "I feel drugged," Lord explained to the courtroom. James Craig responded a few minutes later, and his cell phone showed him in the area of his office. At 7:38 that day, James appeared to use the exam room to search tetrahydrozoline poisoning timeline. On March 8th, James Craig's device appeared to move from the dental office to an address associated with Midland Scientific, which is where he had gone to see if a storefront existed. Previously, a specialist with the company, which is a distributor of laboratory products and chemicals, testified about her exchange with James Craig allegedly requesting to purchase cyanide from them. The following evening, starting around 7:15 p.m., March 9th, James Craig's device moved from the area of Parker Hospital to the area of his dental office and then back to the Craig home. Lord said he then appeared to go to a King Soopers and then to the hospital where Angela Craig was. During cross-exam, the defense asked Lord more questions about how cell towers work and questioned him about why a map brought up in court showing the Craig cell phones and where they connected included just a time frame for the data and not specific times. Lord responded that this would be an enormous amount of data to show in court. Lord explained the cell phones connect to whichever tower has the strongest signal, but terrain and obstructions like tall buildings can't change this. And then that was it for today. So, I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to mute you. Okay. So, y'all, pure cringe, utterly pure cringe, right? I mean, this poor woman, he was literally just out here doing any and everything he wanted to be doing, right? To no abandon. It's abhorrent. And so there's that. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Every day it just gets worse and worse, right? I'm just like, my gosh. I know, right, RJB? Yeah, I was like, towards the end, I was just like, right? I was just like, my goodness. They covered a lot of testimony. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run because I got to go do some things, get ready for tomorrow. Now, so a couple of reminders. Tomorrow, streaming Lori Daybell's trial, you know what I'm saying, sentencing. And then tomorrow night, we'll go over some of the Brian Koberger documents and whatnot. That's it. So thank you, moderators, friends, for being here and keeping the cushions going and everything in line. And thank you, Sofa Squad, for being here and hanging out and listening to me and read this and go over it. Yeah. So just buckle yourselves up because we'll plan on revisiting this. So it's Thursday. So we'll only have Friday's testimony, but still we can read through it on Sunday or whatever. So that's it. I do appreciate y'all. I do love y'all. We will close out with Slow Morrison's little song for the squad. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll post the thing up here later on when I get back. But that's it. I love y'all. I will talk to y'all soon. Let me set the little song up for us. Boom, 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 boom.
The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Bert's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please. The puppies need me. Oh, oh, please. My body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Puppies need me, oh please. My body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.